to serve their selfish interests and do not reflect the view of our great association.
We are live on your DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Follow Joy News on TV. We stream on myjoyonline.com. On YouTube, we are Joy News TV. Stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us. Now, President Akufo-Addo has assured outstanding monies due pensioners will be settled. Workers retiring this year have turned out to be victims of the pension reforms that promise better retirement income, only to deliver less than what its predecessor gave to retirees. Commissioning the refurbished hall of the Trades Union Congress, President Akufo-Addo said the decision to pay the difference was arrived at after a thorough study and consultation on the matter.
Indeed, my policy as president has always been to find accommodation for matters of concern to the Trades Union Congress and try to find ways to address them on a mutually satisfactory basis. One of such matters has to do with a letter of 24th of August 2020 sent to me by the Secretary General on behalf of the Trades Union Congress, requesting my intervention to, and I quote, correct the injustice and unfairness in the implementation of the three-tier pension system, unquote, and resolve the issue of past credit for public sector workers who retired from January 2020. I refer the matter to that outstanding public servant, the senior minister, the Honorable Yao Osafo Mafu, who after careful studies and extensive deliberations has laid out the position of government in this matter. To assure the public sector labor organizations of our good intentions, government through SNIT would pay the difference in the lump sum payments between beneficiaries of PNDC Law 247 and those of Act 7666 for those retiring in 2020 with effect from 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2020.
Let's go on the line and speak to my colleague Elton John Brobe. He's with the president. He's joining us via Zoom. Elton, so when is this payment going to take effect? Elton, if you can unmute your button, we can't hear you. So Elton John Brobe is with the president. He'll be bringing us an update on the president's visit to the TUC today. So Elton, if you can hear me now, when is this payment going to take effect? All right, so we'll go back to Elton, but the president has also been talking about security. Let's listen.
On the larger issue of the peace of our nation in these sensitive times, let me assure you of the wholehearted efforts that are being made by my government and I to ensure the peace and stability of the nation as we enter the home stretch of the electioneering campaign. I'm calling on all political actors and the citizenry as a whole to commit themselves to a peaceful process and to forego any resort to violence. The Inspector General of Police and the other heads of the law enforcement agencies have made abundantly clear their determination to enforce the laws of the land, including the law banning vigilantism, in an impartial, even-handed manner, without recourse to political color, to secure the peace of the nation.
Elton Brobe is with the president. He joins us via Zoom. Elton, when is this payment going to take effect?
So the disparities that have been identified will be paid any moment from now. Payment has really started between January and is supposed to end on December 31st. Now, the TUC wrote to the president in August, alleging that some Tier 1 and 2 benefits paid to people who retired this year, those who received their benefits under the National Pension Act 2008, got an average of 3 times lower than their counterparts who retired under PNDC Law 247. Now, for them, the lower benefits received under Act 766 are widespread, and they have affected workers in all sectors of the economy, including teachers, nurses, media practitioners, and staff of the ministries, departments, and government agencies. And they drew the president attention to these discrepancies and asked for his intervention. Now, government forwarded the letter from the TUC to the minister for the senior minister, who, after consultation and investigation, came to the conclusion that those who received lower than they were expected was an anomaly that needed to be corrected. So, according to President Akufo-Addo, that anomaly has been corrected. SNIT has been directed, as a matter of urgency, to pay the differences in terms of those who received lower monies, as far as the lump sum is concerned, and then going forward, ensure that the correct amount of money that is expected to go to those who are retiring, especially this year, are paid to them in full. And then also they are to address the discrepancies that were identified during the payment of a lump sum to those who are retiring in this year of 2020 era.
And Elton, I'm curious to know how the workers reacting to this. I imagine they're excited.
Of course. I mean, some have been given examples of how they felt shortchanged by the system. For example, a nurse we spoke to said that she retired as a deputy director of nursing in the Upper West Akim district in the Eastern region. And he had actually worked for 38 years and contributed to the pension scheme for 504 months. But she received only 16,070 cedis, made up of 10,000 as past credit under the Tier 1 and 6,000 from the Tier 2 payment. Now, a subordinate of hers who retired last year as a community health was paid 62,000 Ghana cedis. So you can see the difference in terms of how much this deputy director received, 16,000, as against a subordinate who also received 62,000. So, and this, according to TOC, was widespread, necessitating them to write to the president for his intervention. So for now, the difference, for example, 16,000 and 62,000, those are the differences that those who received less are to be paid immediately. And going forward, they are to address all the discrepancies and anomaly to ensure that the lump sum due them are paid in full.
All right, many thanks. That's a presidential correspondent, Elton John Brobe there. After 6 successful elections in the Fourth Republic, many Ghanaians yearn for a real third force which could break the duopoly of the NDC and the NPP. While the two parties grow stronger, the chances of other political parties such as the Convention People's Party, that's the CPP, the People's National Congress, PNC, and the Progressive People's Party, PPP, among others, continues to remain bleak, mainly due to financial and logistical constraints. Well, ahead of the December polls, your election headquarters put the lens on the minority parties and assesses their prospects beyond the latent roles they play in pushing elections into runoffs. We start off from the camp of the PNC. Manuel Coranting reports.
Founded by ex-President Ashaiman in 1992 as Ghana returned to multi-party democracy, the People's National Convention was set up as a vehicle that would hopefully deliver the presidency back to Liman after the 1981 coup.
I call on all, in the true spirit of patriotism, to come together as one united country, determined to solve the many and difficult problems facing us. Let us marshal the rich human resources available throughout the country and together march forward in unity and service to the nation. All of us have a duty to work to salvage our shattered economy and regain the lost image and prestige of Mother Ghana.
Unlike his performance in both rounds of the 1979 elections, which won him the presidency, Ashaiman, who led the PNC in 1992, managed 6.7% of total ballots cast, winning in only 5 constituencies across 3 regions: Upper East, Upper West, and the Western region. In contrast to his plan of recapturing power, Liman's abysmal show in 1992 will set a tone for the performance of the PNC in subsequent elections. In 1996, the party fielded a new flag bearer, Edward Nasigui Mahama, but its electoral woes deepened as it managed just 3% of total votes cast, less than half of Liman's tally in 1992, and losing all the 5 constituencies in the process. Over the years, Edward Mahama's mantra on job creation did not help the PNC garner the much-needed votes.
My campaign theme is New Beginning, New Deal, New Force. New Force, I'm targeting 18 to 35-year-olds.
Let's do it again. New Beginning, New Deal, New Force. Let's do it again. New Beginning, New Deal, New Force. Edward Mahama says, New Beginning, New Deal, New Force. Okay, so I should vote for the PNC for that.
Yes, the new force, I'm looking at the 18 to 35-year-olds. Okay. They are the majority of Ghanaians right now, but they feel helpless. They are unemployed.
The party managed to win the Bilsa South and Sisala West constituencies in 2008, but later lost the Sisala West seat. With its 2 seats in parliament reducing to 1, this trend will continue even after Edward Mahama was replaced by Hassan Ayariga, who obtained 0.22% in the 2012 elections. After the 2016 elections, the party made several attempts at merging with other Nkrumah's parties in a bid to boost their electoral fortunes. But Admona, who was party chairman at the time, was optimistic.
We are taking stock of our abysmal electoral performance, and then we want to move forward to see what we can do as a political party to attract the confidence of the people of Ghana to see us as the next alternative better. We have already initiated processes talking with the Progressive People's Party that I think they are serious with mobilizing like minds so that we can have a united front. We are also talking with the Convention People's Party.
Having failed to secure that merger, what political scientists argue could give a real chance to a third force in Ghana's elections, newly elected flag bearer of the party, David Apasera, is calling for renewed confidence in the party ahead of the 2020 polls.
I am going to work hard and let Ghanaians know that PNC is a vehicle that can carry you to the Jubilee House. We are going to hit the ground running. We are just with about 3 months to go. So I call on PNC members and all sympathizers, all those who had given up hope that the vehicle is awake again and we are driving straight at the 5th gear so that we can catch up with the others.
Can the PNC's vehicle really catch up with the elephant or blow away the umbrella? December 7 has the answer. For Joy News, Manuel Kranting.
Now, minority political parties in Ghana will lock horns as they debate and share their policies with the people of Ghana. In our build-up to this debate, we put the spotlight on the flag bearer of one of the participating parties, that's the Convention People's Party, and flag bearer of that party is Ivor Greenstreet. According to Mr. Greenstreet, he will not only maintain the free SHS policy, but he will make education free in Ghana from kindergarten all the way to the tertiary level. Here is Ivor Greenstreet speaking to Gifty Andor-Pierre.
Point number 1, we are paying for it, but it's the people of Ghana and the resources of this nation which is paying for it. But it happens to be free, which it is good. It is the Convention People's Party, which is the party which first introduced free education in this country. So if a government is introducing a very laudable policy, we would fully support it.
So you continue with the free SHS?
Not only we will continue it, our policies are free from kindergarten all the way to tertiary level. So with our policies, it's not just free SHS, it is free from kindergarten to tertiary.
I see.
Because that is the way, is even one of the ways you can explain the utilization of our beliefs of Nkrumahism or our socialist policies. Utilize the wealth of the nation, our oil, gold, gas, cocoa, timber, diamonds, bauxite, fertile land, strong human beings, for the benefit of the collective mass of the people. You concentrate on collective wealth for the collective benefit of the people of Ghana. And that is what free SHS does, and that is what free education, which we would be employing, does from kindergarten to tertiary. You give people the opportunity who ordinarily would not have access to those skills training.
Ivor Greenstreet also scored the governing party 50% in its handling of security.
There have been a number of programs that have been implemented about improving intelligence gathering, and I believe that the state itself has even been given support for those activities by some foreign governments. One of the problems we've had, particularly with intelligence gathering, is sharing of information that you gain from different institutions within the apparatus. So what someone may be able to find out at a immigration station at Elubu may not be shared with somebody at the CID headquarters in the police. What may be gathered by military intelligence may not be known by what's a border patrol in Sandema.
Do you think that the NPP is handling it the way it should? The NPP administration is handling the security situation, looking back at the secessionist attacks, the robberies, resourcing of the police or resourcing of the security agencies. Do you think?
Well, I certainly don't think they have a pass mark. I think they're below 50%, and I think they have
to... You put them below 50%?
Yes, I put them below 50%, which means that they are maybe doing something, because I think in some examinations, even 40 or even 40% may be a pass mark. However...
40 is a fail.
Yes, well, they're not doing enough, and I believe that far more have to. I'm not sure they themselves will recognize it. I think at a point in time, they even had some kind of ministerial reshuffle. They added a Minister of State of
the Minister of State
Interior. They have a whole series of national security appointees, and at a point in time
we have a national security minister. We have a minister for interior. We have the Minister of State in charge of the interior at the interior, which is Brian Champon. Yeah. And are you saying? We don't. I mean, people made arguments earlier.
The evidence,
but they're certainly working. That's why they said that we could have been in a worse position.
Well, that may be the case. If you want to do comparative analysis with other countries, if you look at what's happening in Burkina Faso and Mali and elsewhere, clearly they're in a far worse situation than we are here. But that doesn't mean that we have to judge ourselves against lower standards. You know, Ghana, we wish to judge ourselves according to higher standards, and we wish to do far better and even be the best. And so therefore, I think at a point in time, even the government themselves were doing assessments of ministries and different sectors and how well they're...
So here on Election Brief with me, Arba Kumson. Now, a group made up of headquarters in the Ashanti region, who are mostly from the northern regions, have suspended some of its members for declaring support for the National Democratic Congress. Prince Appiah has been engaging some members of the 3 northern region supporters and now reports.
Headquarters in the country until the NPP government had to pay daily levies for their daily operations. Mostly settlers and migrants from the northern part of the country, the group called the 3 northern regions NPP supporters in Ashanti region say they are therefore disappointed by 3 of their members, Mohammed Ibrahim, Abubakar Isahaku and Sumaila Azuma, who declared support for the NDC and criticized the government, claiming it has neglected members of the association. Christopher Ampasem is secretary of the group.
I would like to state point blank that those sentiments and feelings expressed in that press conference were to serve their selfish interests and do not reflect the view of our great association. These 3 individuals has been suspended with immediate effect until further notice.
Earlier this year, the suspended members held a press conference to criticize government for neglecting members of the northern part of the country. They described this as unacceptable, but the leadership explained how the NPP government cancelled the daily levy they've had to pay, which had a toll on their meager finances.
We, the men and our sisters, are Paupa, the headquarters. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, he gave us one good opportunity, which is the headquarters tax. During President John Mahama time, every Paupa was paying 30 cedi tax a month. Every day 1 cedi. If you didn't pay, they will collect your pan. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, only this one. Every Paupa headquarters should rally behind Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to win 4 more years.
Meanwhile, the group is also amassing support for MCE for Ashaiman Ali Duseidu as he contests Muntaka Mubarak for the Asawasa seat.
3 northern regions NPP supporters association remain intact and solid behind the NPP.
The most important thing is for our supporters to rally behind Alidu in Asawasi here so that, we can take the seat from the NDC party.
Prince Appiah reporting.
So here on Election Brief, we're taking a short break, but still ahead, we're bringing you more updates on the campaign trail. Plus, we're taking our microphones to Kokompe. You want to stay for that. You're welcome back. Now, General Secretary of the Opposition NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, has begun a tour of the Ashanti region. Prince Appiah is on Zoom from the ground. Prince, where are you currently and what's going on? Give us an update.
Araba, we are currently at Manso Eduvia in the Manso Eduvia constituency, Amasia South District of the Ashanti region. As I speak to you, the General Secretary, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, together with Mr. Tukono and other regional executives, are here meeting opinion leaders and chiefs of Manso and entire Manso Eduvia. What they are doing currently is trying to seek them to pray for them and explain their policies and manifesto to the people of Manso Eduvia, so they will vote for them in the 2020 elections. I should say that Mr. Asiedu Nketia, the chief of Manso Eduvia, just spoke to me. He explained that most often a lot of politicians come here and they put their issues before them, and after they pray for them and they win power, they forget about them and their problems continue to persist. So he charged them that if they are able to win the 2020 election, their vote is a priority, and that they shouldn't forget the promises they make to the people. So that is what is happening here. Mr. Asiedu Nketia, continue with the tour from now to Thursday, where Professor Nana Jane Kwajima, Professor Nana will join and will continue the tour of the Ashanti region. So currently we are here from this side. We are going to Kenya to meet some other opinion leaders and chiefs as well.
All right, many thanks. Prince Appiah is our man on the ground following the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who's just begun a tour of the Ashanti region. And as you heard Prince say, the NDC running mate, Professor Nana Jane Kwajima, will be joining him for that tour of the Ashanti region. Stay on your election headquarters. We'll be bringing you updates as and when.
Abana ekotunde ekufa de president yi no yetimi nyi no because mahama betwa mo no oba ye hu ni mpoye wonya ska na oto confirm o munyina sori adwane no aba san so beto krokura man da bi yentimi enkwala no ni nko school de ekufa do ye ne yepe eti ehwe so obetena so yetimi tro obetena so 30 years kura yepe ye pese beto ekufa do mesoma asem no
last 4 years ye wo ha eno munanti ha ne nado Mama etwe mo hanu mu huro nu. Sisi 4 years na ye wom sisi anu. Ye hu say mama is far better than Akufo-Addo. And 2.5 months for Nana. No more for more. Sanko for yenti. Mama is far better than Akufo-Addo. Enti Akufo-Addo dey betu anu. Olman wan dwe ho. Go be ya sisi Akufo-Addo. Olman wan dwe mama say, "Ai mama nya mama nya." Mama ba. Because also ba ware want to me.
Four years for Nana.
No, 4 years.
So many years. Obuakura, Oba Nyumapa yem. Na Akufo-Addo, Nyakubo Shira ba bia obi a.
Wa ka say
Nana, asa wachi ba bia obi.
Asama o kan no.
Asa wachi Nana. Kombia so ba say the 4 years na.
Oba no tis kakoto ayi ran cruise ama omo. Yeah, you told them to say, why? I'm telling them, you're going to Baumé. I don't know about Baumé. I don't know about Baumé. I Mother, she got to comedy. Yeah, black.
Yeah, because so and confirm and this go by and confirm away. And confirm the woman in ultimate to Quadia. You brand this BP and confirm and confirm. It's too much. Me 70 years as I'm to about. Me 70 years I'm to about. I'm be by another yes. Problem.
Okay, Mama Kasa. Okay.
Me pam so obianya di no meeting. Munim bibi. Sama huma pampam. Me nyoma wey. Me de hwe SS. Me kwampa na ka me fa so a me de be hwe SS no. Me pa cho se me gire we me be pani kwa SS. Free. Me second one our JSS. Free. Na ka me yada me ko tua admission fee. Me ko to prospectus. Na me de ma me be ko school. Madam follow. Nana, for more for Nana.
Madam, Saúl, I don't move your back.
The best make sense say, we are seeing maybe I would do no yansaho. Ya duma kakra ye wo ha sei aban peso guno kwamba so no pese ye fasu ne yedi ne hwe ne ma free education entimi mfa ni panko ba bia so wutimi ye waduma na wunya sika wo betumi atu aba school fees enti sa ogu ye duma dia ene edi fo bia de ma no ye be sisem ama ye ho ato ye e da te sika wo botoma wutimi ya da ehwe oma ene wo yire enti de beta me chade say free education as I say, we have free education any part no near to my bogus. This year, no, about what we know. I this is Kake. I have 4 more for Nana. 4 more to do more. Thank you very much. Say Baba Guno, ye be some kana. Me buy 5% here. Enti na see ade private school near you for you some. E do to make a jam say. Free education ene na e be dia na. E say me bra na kasa na me kasa sabe na adwen ofom kakra. Ade ntia me kasa sa. Oma bia ho masua ejina dia ni kan kwa jina dia so. Free education mali enko. Ejina ho maso. Free education mali na ye nya adwuma. Free education mali enko ye nya. What you work for do no. Go school buy. What school fees? What school fees? Mama swear. I don't know. Yeah, brother. Mama swear. For free.
Na ye hwe wo wura kufuadu a aman mu a wo buo nsese a e free say aman mu na wo buo asem bia ni ho ye wo sese bi obi be challenge no na brantie bi aba ye wo se friend Mahama mi de minim no sanze wa bedi bi pen ye de nyanze bi obe bibi na ono ankasa na betena so 8 years wantimi anya hu wo aeroplane nam wiem watimi atena taban aton adi amene de krono wa bono ma wemu na Ghana fo na sebe ye nsuanyanza hu ade odi ase ye nim de ye hwe na wa abrantie we be gina abrantie we bitimi be gina wa saka che se to abama no no de sebe yo se nyansa bi wo tim na dri kwachi a edi kaza go so ba kra wo pam no na saba pa no wo de wo so ye bema wo do za betwem kokompa mi se Mahama so ye bema biemu a wo za me fa biem na yo hwade wo de ase na aba no pa ye sia no wo to resignation letter enforcement is for say wo timi nko biem na fe ye hu se ma wo ma biem kra ye kra ye mpede ni kra so ye dey ahwe enti na kokompe fo ye huru no ko ye ni de wo ye wo bie wa no a asem bia na ye dem de mino ye yene na ye no china wo de ase se Mahama wu nne ni esie no a se na me sa kobo na mna foforo se esie ni bia When you want to say no, say I was here. Opa, Uncle Sabano, Uncle Bium, no one tells you. I do flip and they say a fourth or a four more for Nana. As somebody say here and say, Mo, I know, Negrin, Ma, Obia,
Now, Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Henry Nogwe, has petitioned the Electoral Commission to publish the Provisional Voters Register on its website within the next 7 days. His request comes after he accused the EC of gross dishonesty over the omission of some 21,000 names from the register. In a letter addressed to the EC chairperson, Jean Mensah, Mr. Nogbe noted his request is in consonance with the constitutional instrument 126, which will regulate the upcoming elections. He tells JoyNews he will go to court if the EC does not comply.
I'm just asking the Electoral Commission to publish the provisional register on their website as demanded by the CI 91. When you look at CI 91, Regulation 23.3, it emphasizes that the Electoral Commission, in addition to the exhibition of the register at the various police stations, they should as well publish the provisional register onto their website. I want to believe the rationale behind this provision is to make it available, the register available to people who may not be able to go to the police station to even verify their names, and also for the general public to interrogate and then come out with some suspicious names on the register. And so I'm expecting the Electoral Commission to do the same, because as you know, during the exhibition period, there were so many anomalies to the extent that some 21,000 were initially deleted from the register in Ashaiman, and later they were all restored. And so people are...
So all the list has been restored?
Yeah, all of them.
Including yourself?
Including myself now have been restored onto the register. But the electorate are still skeptical. They don't know what would be the result come December 7th, whether their names will be well captured onto the register or they will go and see their names during the voting period. And so in publishing this register, provisional register on their website, it will give everybody the opportunity to access it and keep track of details of the register, and also recommend any anomaly to the commission to be done before 7th December. Well, definitely, I don't know, I cannot preempt their response yet, but I'm very much optimistic that if they refuse to do same, as the law prescribes, then we have to seek legal remedy, because we have to write to the court for the court to order them put mandatory injunction on them to do the needful.
Let's return to the campaign trail, and President Akufo-Addo has, of course, returned to Accra after a 3-day tour of the Upper West region. He climaxes a 2-day tour, rather, of the region with the commissioning of a small town pipe water supply system at Hamile Hapa. The cost of the project is pegged at more than 5 million Ghana cedis and will provide a total of 444 gallons of water for 13,920 people. Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Hamile Hapa.
Of the Hamile Hapa small town pipe water supply system by President Akufo-Addo surely will change and better the lives of the people. Hitherto, they used to go through arduous times, wasting productive hours to look for the precious commodity. No struggle anymore. Water is at their doorstep. Head of Extension Services at the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Theodoro Adomoko Ajayi, explains how the system, which is constructed with modern technology, works.
As you can see, this is a token. So you just have to go and load money on the token, and it makes it very convenient to fetch water, because if you load money on this at any time that you want, at dawn, midnight, I mean to your own convenience, you can just pick this, come and fetch water.
Chief Executive Officer of the CWSA, Waranyo Kojosiabi, stated that the new mandate of the agency is to sustain water facilities and services they provide and also employ the right technical people.
We are installing a lot of package plants to make sure that the facilities are treated soon. It's not part of this project, but you will see there are the system at Nadoli has a problem. If you are walking, you see that the reservoir is stained. We have excess iron and manganese, and so we are installing package plants. What we are doing is across the country, we are linking all of these package plants to Accra. You can sit in Accra. I can actually sit in Accra and switch off all of those water systems. I can stay in Accra and switch off the valve in your house if you are not paying. We can be there and determine the water quality within real time. So at least if we can do all of this, we can see that there is a challenge in Nadoli or there's a challenge in Hamile Hapa, and we can ask our colleagues to make sure that they take the necessary steps to do this.
According to President Akufo-Addo, the Hamile Hapa small town pipe water supply system has been built at a cost of 5,122,829.54 Ghana cedis and will provide a total of 168,444 gallons of water for 13,920 people. He urged the people of the Lamuse constituency to vote massively to retain the government in power for another 4-year term to do more for them.
A new 200 cubic meter high-level tank and 2 rehabilitated steel tanks, both with a capacity of 120 cubic meters, will serve as storage for the water. In addition to Hamile Hapa, Lambuse is another beneficiary of the rural water supply system of this region. Indeed, the Upper West region has also benefited from the drilling and construction of 250 boreholes fitted with hand pumps to improve access to potable water in 240 communities in 5 districts, namely Dafiama, Busie, Isa, Sisala West, Laura, Jirapa, and Nandom municipalities.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Hamile Hapa.
Now, let's turn our attention on Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who says the NPP government will put the country among modern economies in Africa within 3 years when retained. According to him, all steps taken in the digital space will be consolidated with time to put the country in its expected position. Dr. Bawumia specifically points to mobile money interoperability and national identification card as projects putting the country ahead on the African continent. He was speaking to students of St. Monica's cluster of schools in the Ashanti region, where he commissioned a 12-unit classroom block and a 500-bed capacity dormitory at St. Monica's as part of his tour to the Ashanti region.
Exports. Without the government of Nana Akufo-Addo, we will have no national ID cards, we will have no digital address system, and we will have no mobile money interoperability. Without mobile money interoperability, you won't be able to send money from Tigo to MTN or to Vodafone. And you won't be able to send money between a mobile wallet and a bank account. Ghana is the first country in Africa that has implemented mobile money interoperability. We are leading the world. I say in Africa, I've looked around the world, I've not yet seen any other country. But as far as Africa is concerned, I can say without any fear of contradiction, we are the first country to do so. And therefore, we have, by just doing so, using technology, provided a bank account to almost 16 million Ghanaians through mobile money interoperability. We are thinking, as I said, we are thinking ahead. this country, it can be a very great nation and will be a very great nation. We have to make sure that this government continues in office. What we have started, we haven't finished, but by the grace of God, in another 2 to 3 years' time, we are going to see all of these developments coming together, and Ghana will be one of the most modern economies on the face of the African continent. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Let's stick with this government. Let's stick with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and let's stick with free SHS.
Meanwhile, Deputy Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Educhum says the introduction of the double-track system in the education sector has put the total number of student population in senior high schools at 1.2 million instead of 800,000 spaces available. He says a vote against the NPP government is a vote cast against improvement in education.
High schools now we have 1.2 million in a strategy for education. It's called leapfrogging, and that is what another doctor used. It's used around the world, in America, in other countries. So he follows something that is being used in other places, uses here, and by the way he said, I'm going to build all the facilities. So at the point, double track will not be needed anymore. And that is what we are witnessing here today. This school has transformed itself because there are so many buildings now across this country. The same thing is happening. We have a determined president who wants to change the fortunes of this country. But make no mistake about it, on December 7th, education is on the ballot. Quality education is on the ballot. If you don't vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, this country is going to go backwards. We can't afford to get Ghana go backwards. We have to move forward, transform ourselves, change the fortunes of this country.
Let's stay on the governing party because Second Lady Samira Bawumia says the New Patriotic Party is a party for the people. According to her, the policies of the NPP are human-centered and everyone living in Ghana has benefited from them. Maxwell Kudoko has more.
Speaking at a Durbar of chiefs and people of the Koforidua Zongo community, Samira Bawumia tasked the people in the Zongo communities to assess the performance and initiatives of the New Patriotic Party government and vote massively for them in the December 7 polls. She said the NPP government has demonstrated great ability to improving the lives of the people in the country through its numerous initiatives and projects. Samira Bawumia hinted the New Patriotic Party has proven to be a party for the people through its flagship programs, including the free SHS, One District, One Factory, Planting for Food and Jobs, among others.
Every child in this country, irrespective of where you are coming from, irrespective of your circumstances of your birth, to get education so that you have a chance to be the best that you can be in this country, so you can contribute to the development of the country. The New Patriotic Party is the party of the people. The policies of this country is for everybody. Everybody in this country has benefited from the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Obi biara enya homfaswo, emofra enya Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo amemu homfaswo, emofra enya homfaswo, abata enya homfaswo, ekuafo enya homfaswo, eskufu enya homfaswo, adoktafu enya homfaswo, ema enya homfaswo, ememe enya homfaswo, obi biara enya homfaswo. December 7th, Yetuaba, for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
The Second Lady noted that government developmental projects in the Zongo communities, including the Zongo Development Fund, the setting up of a Ministry of Zongo and Inner City Development, was a demonstration of government commitment to developing the Zongo community. She said Ghanaians must not allow the NDC to see power. Samira Bawumia tasked the people to vote for their future and the future of the unborn generation by giving Nana Akufo-Addo 4 more terms to do more.
Planting for food and jobs, free and nursing training allowance, teacher training allowance, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Betnas Mama Bechomwana, Ejumapa Abaya ye, Ejumapa Abasuhumha, Yent Nasi, Emma NDC, Mbechum, into Mishemo, December 7th. Sorry, no panya we bia no. Enye yen kwayenti, yemma, yemmofra, yedachinti ene yekoto sabe. Inti obi biara wa register. Koto abapa, koto ma New Patriotic Party, koto abama His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
At the Suhum Palace, Chief of Suhum Osaberema Ayekofi advised the NPP to talk about projects they have executed in every constituency they visit. He said it doesn't make meaning when politicians visit constituency A and talk about development projects in constituency B, adding that they want to hear what is happening in their constituency.
Hey, no oba constituency bi mo na se oba be ye campaign na mesere won ka niama won atumi aye ama constituency ene nia wo pese wo ye ma constituency.
Still here on Election Brief. Now, Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh has called on teachers in the country to vote against former President John Mahama because, according to him, re-election of the former president will only spell doom for the teaching profession, considering what he describes as adversely impactful decisions he took during his tenure. Speaking at a conference of the Volta Region NPP Teachers Network in Ho, he urged the teachers to retain President Akufo-Addo, insisting the NPP has shown more concern towards teachers. Fred Kwame Asare has the rest of the story.
The Volta Regional NPP Teachers Network Conference, which was on the theme "With Nana in Our Classrooms, We Have Performed Better," brought together about 1,500 teachers across the region. Addressing the conference, the Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, schooled the teachers on the government's initiatives to improve on their conditions of service. He indicated that the Akufo-Addo government had performed better in ensuring the welfare of teachers compared to the previous government.
Me, I'm a doctor, I'm not a teacher. So for starters, I come to sit in that seat looking after teachers with respect and honor, because they are the largest group on the payroll. And for 4 years, there has not been a teacher demonstration or strike. Wow. That in itself should send NDC to the bush. If they were managing well, the car would not be parked near the bush. They never managed leadership. They exercised power, but never were leaders. For 4 years, not only did we have doomso, which in itself means teaching and learning cannot happen very well. We had that strikes upon strikes upon strikes. Because the worst policies ever since Ghana was founded for teachers happened under 2012-2016. And I would account for that. We had the worst learning outcomes when 76 countries in the world, they tested that for PISA. Ghana chopped last. And when we chopped last, did you know what we did? We did not come back and sit and say, let's change the track. We said, we are not going to participate in PISA again. Why? Are you deceiving who? You are deceiving yourself. The evidence has been clear. When we tested 100 primary 2 pupils, only 2 of them could read at that level. That was expected of them. The lessons were there.
He asserted that the NDC's promise of cancelling the teacher licensure examinations and mandatory national service when they assume power is a palpable lie.
When you have the NDC manifesto, and Sampain is an English teacher, when you hear when they say that when we come with school, cancel license, then you've heard it. What they say and what they've written in the manifesto, they are coming to deceive you again. What is written in the manifesto, I'll read. There are English teachers here. Listen, the automatic posting of teachers. That's the opening phrase. The automatic posting of teachers without national service and licensure exams will be reversed. Do you understand? He brought in a word without will be reversed. So if you are going to be automatically posted, you should have the licensing and the national service. That is what they've written in the manifesto. He hid this in his manifesto, thinking we don't read. Me, I was born to read. I'll read everything. Good, bad, ugly, night, I'll read. And make up my mind. So when you vote for him, he will come and tell you, where in my manifesto did I say that? Right? That is when you will be aware to go and quote. And when you quote, the explanation is that we will continue with the licensing and national service.
The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, indicated the educational sector in his jurisdiction had witnessed an improvement over the last 3.5 years.
Gentlemen, the Teachers Network, MPP Teachers Network of the Volta region, we have a success story to tell. Education in Volta region has made great progress under this government, and we shall continue to make progress. We have a lot of things to tell the people in order for them to give us 4 more years to do more for all of us.
The Volta Regional NPP chairman, Makafi Wanya, called on the teachers to use their influence in society to canvass for votes for the governing party.
And because of your close touch with the public, you can trumpet our achievement better and disseminate our campaign messages better. It must be emphasized that no group of people can better bear testimony to the huge social impact of free senior high school policy being implemented by our government. We are counting on you.
Some selected individuals were recognized for their exemplary leadership, including the Volta Regional NPP organizer, Emmanuel Boja, for his contributions to the growth of membership of the governing party in the Volta region. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Ho. And
that'll be all for today's edition of Election Brief. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com, and I'm Arba Kumsin.